else you want. You know, it's really, really powerful, but a lot of mid lane targeted bans. Hopefully this means we're going to see something a little bit different. The Corki's gone, the Victor is gone, two of the most consistent ones there. And so bot lane focus as well from C9.
I think what's interesting too is EG has really played the whole spread of comps that we've seen. That TF that they were hovering, they played that, looked incredible on it. They've played the Corki Victor matchups as well. They have shown a lot of diversity so far, and giving the TF over to Fudge is a little surprising. He has not gotten his hands on it so far in this tournament, so they're kind of putting a test on him like, yeah, you play lane okay, but can you play the map okay from mid lane?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he's actually going to go for the TF. LeBlanc is another really high prio pick that is left open. It is going to be the TF, in fact. So now I wonder, you know, is this going to push Darshan to something a little bit more carry-oriented? Because he has been Mr. Tank. And especially if you're going to go Jhin here, you do need kind of that hyper carry somewhere. It could be coming from Blaber if Blaber wants to play an aggressive pick and you're playing more as the TF to roam and actually support the jungler. But it will be interesting because Darshan has been mostly just purely on tank duty, and usually you don't want to play toward that side when you have a TF.
And with the state of drafts these days, often having early drafted bottom lanes and junglers, the early mid pick here makes me wonder, is Evil Geniuses going to immediately answer with their own mid pick, or will Cloud9 have the opportunity to ban out some of those mid laners if they choose not to? Diana locked in here. Okay, Diana Yasuo combo for EG.
You get your answer quickly there, Captain Flower.
Oh, yeah.
They're going aggressive early on. We saw this a little bit yesterday. It has an insane level 6 power spike with the Diana able to vacuum everyone in to a Yasuo ult. You know, the TF early on will be okay, but then at level 6, right when he wants to start moving around the map, is when he's going to be under the most pressure. And
I mean, TF can always push with the early auto attacks. You just rank your E level 1. You have a lot of power there. But the interactions with Windwall and Goldcard, being able to actually eliminate that is really, really powerful. So it's a lot about how you're going to play this mind game. We'll see how experienced Fudge looks on it, because usually you have to use your Everfrost really well, and you kind of try to get them to bait out with your Q, try to get really close. You throw out the Q as though you're faking that animation to bait out the Windwall, and you can Everfrost them, lock them down, then save the Goldcard till after the Windwall. And how you play that minigame is actually really, really important. But Poppy is incredibly strong here. You already have the dashes from Yasuo and from the Diana. Being able to shut that down, Chem Tank, Jungle, Poppy, extremely strong.
Yep, and we still have the mirrored roles picked in the first half of the draft for both sides. It's just not the usual mirrors that we see.
Don't count out Poppy for Darshan yet, all right?
Okay, all right.
Signature pick
I am
mister.
assuming we have mirrored picks here. That means
the blind
support
Poppy
and top laners are getting focused here in the second part of the ban phase. Yuumi and Thresh removed from that support pool. Gragas taken out here by Cloud9. One more to go from the side of Evil Geniuses. Still plenty of power picks left up on the table. Still plenty of good options here for either side. Not quite sure exactly what we're going to see here out of these guys, but it will be Gwen, so taking some of that power away from the top lane again.
Yeah, getting rid of probably the biggest carry threat that we've seen in the meta right now, at least in terms of presence. It's been Gwen, and so getting rid of that makes a lot of sense. We'll see now where Darshan goes, because he has shown a lot of Auction. He's already played 3 games of it. It seems to be his go-to if he's going to be playing off tank. And like you said, with the TF wanting to go up there, that might be an option. But I think there's also a possibility where you still don't put too much priority on it, because you might have a lot of 2v2s going mid lane, and the Poppy might have to spend a little bit more time around there than normal.
Well, we will see the Rakan picked up here for the side of Cloud9. Means they are reserving Darshan counter pick for the very final choice here in this draft. I like that. But now what does EG want to respond with here for their top and support combo? Renekton, of course, is always a staple of top lane. No matter how many times you hit him with the Nerf bat, slap him in the knees, smack him over the head, beat him in the back, it will not matter. He has a point-and-click stun.
Impact's been playing him for 8 years in pro play. So, you know, if anyone's going to know Renekton, how to pilot it against TF pressure, we'll probably be the old man up there.
It's also a great setup, right? You know, it's someone that has that point-and-click CC. Add that in with the Leona. There's a lot of lockdown here for champions that are pretty slippery. It makes it dangerous for someone like the Rakan. Leona generally considered a pretty strong matchup into the Rakan for that reason. You can stun him up into the Chompers. It makes it really difficult for Rakan to play aggressive. We could get Auction into the Renekton. I think that's totally a fine matchup if he wants to play aggressive. We could also just see something along the lines of the Scion that he's brought out a couple times here, but it would make them pretty tank heavy.
Ooh.
Malphite. Okay. I actually really like this. There's the only magic damage on the team is Inspired, and it is, you know, a burst champion. It's not consistent damage, so you're just going to stack health and armor. It's going to make it very difficult for the Renekton, for the Yasuo, for the Jinx to really pop through.
All right, so let me ask you this, gentlemen. It looks like EG's got a lot of dive power. Cloud9 has a lot of mobility around the map and ability to contribute to these fights from range with things like the Jhin or Twisted Fate joining up. Who do we feel got the advantage in this draft at the end of the day?
I mean, it's just going to come down to execution, right? Can you actually pressure heavily through mid lane with Inspired and Jojopyun, this Diana Yasuo combo? Anytime you draft that, it's going to be largely about that. And can C9 really neutralize, have Blaber protecting Fudge so he can get out to the side lanes and really pick on people there?
I think this is also just a huge shot at Fudge to be like, can you withstand Diana Yasuo? And that's a Diana.
I thought you were just combining.
I thought you were trying to go for a little bit of a combo here.
There's
a Yasuo.
There's another reason that might have slipped up. Playing a lot of Genshin recently. There's a character in that game. Anyways, the point is, this will be a test for Fudge right out the gate, and arguably the weakest member, if you're trying to say like least experience in their position, that is Fudge. And so this is EG kind of calling their shot right in game one.
All right, here we go. We're on to Summoner's Rift for the first time in what I'm hoping is going to be a full 5 here in this series. Cloud9 and EG. Winner here will get to go on to play against Team Liquid in the final for lock-in tomorrow. And it looks like we've got all 4 EG players grouped up here. Only Danny is away.
Oh my god, yeah. All the EG players have been out there. Vulcan calling the 3-0, Jojopyun the autofill, calling him the autofill mid laner.
They don't do pick ban meetings, they do meme meetings before the series figure out how they want to flame their opponents.
Well, I mean, the last guy who called Fudge an autofilled mid laner got 2-0'd by Dignitas the next day.
Oh,
so I gotta be a little cautious.
He didn't call Blue an autofill mid laner, to be fair.
Okay, I guess we've got that one. I guess we got that one there. But I'm just excited to see the Diana Yasuo, man. This is one of those really risky type of picks. Like, if they fall behind, they can feel pretty bad. I mean, Yasuo doesn't have any traditional strengths of a mid laner with, like, the big, powerful ability to control the waves from a distance, to be able to apply that ranged burst or whatever. So, down here in bottom, Danny and Vulcan, too. Always exciting to watch here with these two.
Yeah, and I think this will be maybe one of the power points early on, because the thing about Diana, she can gank a little bit earlier, but with the Yasuo combination, you might see a little bit slower pre-6 of a game. Maybe the Leona's where you want to go. You have set up CC in pretty much every single lane. As we see Jojo already testing Fudge in the matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. But, I mean, he takes as good as he gets, right? You know, and you are starting Corrupting Potion here on Fudge, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. You just need to trade back with those auto attacks as effectively as he can. And Jojo ending up getting, I think, the much worse end of this, honestly. You know, because he only has the one potion with the Doran shield, you have to be pretty careful about how you're using this regen. Fudge is just going to want to just try to get pushed up as fast as he can, shove this out and reset, and that's usually the TF go-to. But, I mean, Jojo's trading really, really well.
Very aggressively. This is what I want to see out of a Yasuo player. I don't want to see you just sitting there and trying to last hit with your Qs. Like, he's going in every chance he gets. Bottom side talking about going in. They forced the flash out of Isles immediately.
Really well done there by EG's bot lane, getting their level 2 CC. And this is a bit of a problem for Cloud9. In the series against CLG, it was one of the strong points where CLG was able to find advantages in that map. Isles and Zven were killed a couple times just in the straight 2v2. And already we see EG, Vulcan stepping up in the bot lane, making a flash happen.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's just one of those situations where you have to count minions. You know, how simple is that? You know when they're going to hit level 2. Isles was a little bit too far forward, maybe trying to actually proc his Relic Shield. But instead ends up having to spend that flash, and now EG have the push down here to be able to clear out a ward, get eyes on the fact that Blaber is in this area, and it's going to give them a lot of safety up on that top side, knowing there's nothing weird happening. Not that you're surprised that Poppy's doing a full 6-game clear, because the early ganks are pretty terrible.
Yeah, but at the same time, it lets Jojopyun play the way that we've seen him play the lane so far, that there's not some early cheese gank coming. They had a ward on Raptors as well earlier, and so that just enables him to play this matchup as aggressively as he wants, while the rest of his team does a good job of tracking Blaber's pathing.
Blaber still down here on that bottom side. You can see he is clearing a bit more slowly than Inspired is there on the Diana. Inspired not having any options to move towards right now. Will go ahead, take his first base, buy that Blasting Wand, just making sure that he's getting that AP up and running as quickly as possible. Blaber now coming around maybe for a play here on mid.
I think he wants Raptors, probably,
just
but he could just wrap around here. You know, the Raptor spawn is about to happen, but he obviously hasn't been back to base, so it is a little bit dicey and will reveal himself, so.
Well, Jojopyun's still going aggressive here onto Fudge, so if Blaber comes around, there he is. We're ready to go. Blaber looking for Jojo here. Instead, just charges onto the minion to reposition himself. They see that Jojo is not immediately retreating, so they have to figure that Inspired is nearby. Now Jojo's going to taunt them closer yet again. As Fudge tries to throw out the cards, knocked up into the air now. first blood already over to Evil Geniuses. Beautifully done.
Really well played there by Jojo and Inspire, just getting aggressive here. Fudge wanted the reset, but they just played up a little bit too much and ends up getting taken down.
EG just know the 2v2 better. It wasn't like there was a surprise at all coming. Cloud9 has the ward on the Raptor pits. They saw Inspired run right through there and sit in the fog of war. You knew exactly where he was, and so they just thought that they couldn't get killed from that position.
Honestly, the whole sequence just really speaks to almost like miscommunication or disagreement on how you want to play it out. The fact that you're warding it out, then you're actually hitting the vision plant, giving away that you are there, so you're not going for a gank now. But if you're just going for the push, then you should have just gone immediately mid anyway and helped push that out and reset very quickly. So it felt like there was maybe some disagreement on should this be a gank play, should this be a Raptor steal, should this be a reset on the wave? And they kind of got stuck in the middle of all three, did all of them poorly, and as a result, it is that first blood going over on a Jojo, and that's a big deal. Getting the Yasuo ahead this early is huge for a comp that's built around it.
And now in bottom side, we got ourselves a 2v2 breaking out as Zven flashes away. Still has his cleanse ready to use. Vulcan's going to get locked down there by the deadly flourish. Cloud9 can disengage that one, but it will cost the flash on the AD carry. Neither flash up for the Cloud9 bot lane now.
And that's actually huge because Vulcan was holding the wave, so the wave is hard frozen against them bot lane. If we can get a view of this, like look at that. They're going to lose this entire wave here unless Danny decides he wants to push. That will be a full wave denied from C9. So not only do they lose the flash, they're going to fall behind on experience and have this wave frozen against them, have to push up to reset it without that summoner, which is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, and I know this is early in the game. We're still pre-8 minutes, but already an 800 gold lead in their favor against a TF. Usually you see TF teams kind of jump out to an early gold lead, not a huge one, but just off the strength of his passive. But the fact they're already this far down against that is very concerning for Cloud9.
Jojopyun going to back up now. Isles is hanging around the mid lane, but so is Inspired, so Jojo will just walk towards his ally there. Inspired now level 6 on the Diana means a lot more scary ganks will be coming. Diana, after that rework that happened a little while back, doesn't have any CC until level 6, but now that he's got that, it's so scary when combined with the power of the Yasuo.
Absolutely, he has been spotted, so Fudge has got to play it pretty far back, and that's why Blaber is here to hover, but you have level 6 on all three of the topside members for EG, so you can just set up a play here, invade towards the red, and I think this is super smart.
Yeah, I mean, the vision control here is absolutely insane. Pink ward on the red buff, you have the Raptors with 2 wards on top of it, Krug's warded out. There's absolutely nowhere for Blaber to go. In this entire topside, the river is also warded out, so you see him completely sacking this side, trying to get on top of Inspired, and it looks like he was able to get in there a little bit unseen. C9 do have some okay vision down here, but Blaber's in a pretty uncomfortable position.
Yeah, he's trying to go for a wraparound here onto Danny, and we'll see if he's going to be able to pull it off because he does have a blast plant, so he hasn't been spotted. I don't know if they want to just go for this or if it is just going to be, steal away one camp, try to get a little bit of something back, but EG definitely getting by far the better end of this early game.
Well, Inspired is now down in the same quadrant of the jungle as Blaber. He will work on the red buff. Blaber secures those Krugs. On my way ping's coming out, so they look like they're maybe looking for something here on EG. Blaber will clear out that control ward. Evil Genius is aware of the presence of the enemy jungler, but considering Inspired was still picking up the red buff, they weren't able to immediately go contest that. But now, Blaber uses the steadfast presence. Chompers are going to be dropped down. Zap slows him. Flash forced out here too. Blaber gets away.
Again, it's kind of just weird seeing him waffle between these decisions, right? He's walking back and forth. He reveals that he's actually on the pink to try to clear that, but then you've shown you're on the pink, and then you walk back into their jungle with no vision, and it is going to cost him his flash.
Yeah, so far, he's been totally controlled this game. He was forced out of there right when the wave was pushing away from EG's bot lane. EG have done such a good job of coordinating where their waves are going, where they need Inspired to be at the same time, while Inspired's keeping his farm up and making plays on the map.
It's also worth noting it's not going to be the Chem Tank build that I was actually expecting. That is getting super popular. Instead, it will be Divine Sunderer, so a little bit more damage focused. I think that's obviously fine. You have Rakan, you have the Malphite, you can have a bit of a mixed damage profile here. And he might just be doing Sunderer Sterix, which is pretty popular for the more damage-heavy Poppy builds.
Well, Evil Geniuses will control this first neutral objective in the game in that Rift Herald. They are already up over 1,000 gold, 9 minutes in the game with just the single kill under their belt. And I want to go back to something you guys were talking about a little bit in Champ Select. When we saw the Renekton locked in, we were talking about having to play a champion topside versus Twisted Fate, having to deal with the extra pressure. Fudge has been stuck underneath the turret. Fudge has not been having a great time here in mid. They haven't been able to affect this topside yet at all. And Impact just has a casual almost 4 waves of CS advantage.
This was a little bit of concern we were talking about the draft stuff, is you don't really have a power point anywhere on the map for playmaking. You know, bot lanes are pretty favored. Jinx has a lot of good matchups. Top side, yeah, you get this nice counter pick for scaling later in the game, but you can't really make anything happen until 6 when you're trying to combo your ult.
It's compositional. It's not 1v1.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly the same time that the enemy team's power spike turns on at 6 as well. So you're kind of synced up in that way, and you never have a window where Cloud9's comp is better until much later in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think their window was supposed to be around TF ults, right? And play odd number of fights. But because they actually died early on, now Fudge has been very much on the back foot. He's getting pushed in, so he's not finding those opportunities to actually move from lane. Because, yeah, I think a lot of their picks were less about the matchups and more about how the comp is going to interact, right? You're picking Poppy not because you're going to go in and kill that enemy jungler 1v1. You're picking it because there's Leona, there's Yasuo, there's Renekton, there's Diana, all these champions that you can interrupt with your steadfast presence. That's going to be really strong for 5v5. Malphite, again, is a compositional pick. They're not going to have consistent magic damage, so you stack armor, you're going to be a brick wall in the front line. But in these early stages, it is going to be EG favored. The question is, can what they have built for in the 5v5 make up for it later on?
Okay, Zven ends up using the cleanse there to escape the solar flare from Vulcan. Doesn't look like they were really expecting a whole lot more out of that than just grabbing the cleanse there. You can see that they knew that Blaber was also hanging around this area. Fudge has the ultimate also ready to go. But now Cloud9, what are we going to do? Inspired is down here, and it looks like Evil Geniuses going for even more. There comes your lockdown. Isle's going to be the target. He tries to go right back in. Vulcan's going to be taken low, but a massive multi-ulti coming out from Jojo. And Cloud9 is getting mopped up. Danny goes into the stasis to keep himself alive. Darshan's going to be controlled, but not long enough. Vulcan goes back over the wall trying to make it happen. He flashes away and lets them know, you shouldn't have let me go. The Cloud9 BM versus his old team. And EG wipes them.
They aced them 4v5. Renekton's still in the top lane this entire time. He had TP, but EG were just so confident they didn't even ask for him to show up there. They clean it up. He grabs 3 plates in the top lane.
Absolutely destroyed, and he had nowhere to TP to it. This is pre-14. That's not an unleashed TP. Darshan went to the defensive tower, but the fight was already over by the time he arrives. Cloud9 get absolutely blasted. This wraparound here, Inspired, Vulcan, Danny, everyone flying in through. Just focusing down the Rakan was really, really smart. Then the multi-man ult there from Inspired, from Jojo. Flash R there from the Diana, knocks him up, and they knock him down. Jojo picked up so many kills, and so did Inspired, and now the core part of your comp is insanely fed.
And I just love the faith that they have in each other. Like, Danny flashing over the wall to get damage onto Zven, knowing, like, at some point Jojo's gonna show up. I'll stop watching out right before I die. And then Jojo does show up, finish that kill off, gets the knockup while Danny flashed away, and it made Darshan have to commit his ultimate in to actually get that kill, led to his death as well. And so you can just see how they all see the game the same way, I feel like, in these skirmishes.
Yeah, absolutely. Very much on the same page, and now it's hard to imagine Cloud9, crawling back into this game unless EG really flub, because you're playing with the neutral advantage, 4.5k gold up, and your core items are already done here on your jungle mid combo, right? This is kind of what they need to really start getting aggressive. The stopwatch is there for Inspired, so he can fly in. Shield bow's already done. They're cracking mid lane potentially here pretty soon. When plates fall, that tower is going to be easy to pick up, and they can just continue to dive. When you're playing comp like this from ahead, you have such obvious go buttons.
Yeah, they're already 5k up. Their average at 15 is 2.5.
Well, we're not done yet. Fudge is coming bottom. They're looking to make the plays here. They've locked down Danny, and he's out of the picture. Vulcan and Jojo trying to get away, but the curtain call has opened. Summoner spell's still down from the previous fight, and that means Fudge can pick up that one. Nice punish there from Cloud9.
Yeah, that was well done. I think it was a little telegraphed, and they didn't account for the fact that Fudge could come in. All the TPs are down. They're thinking, okay, this is a pretty clean dive, but big mistake.
And this is the problem, right? You're seeing this. Okay, they made a counterplay. Well, guess what's happening to Darshan's wave top lane? Impact is at the tier 2. He's now 40 plus CS up. Darshan didn't play the lane bad. His team needed him, so he is trying to play for the team. He TPs towards bot, loses his full first tower to this Renekton. Then he roams down bot again to try to help them on this play. Well, now you're losing a couple of waves to that top lane tower, and you're down a good level and a half at least on this Renekton. You know, Impact is just chilling, completely unbothered in the top lane. He's moisturized. He's staying in his lane.
1v0 sometimes, you know?
Staying in his lane, indeed. This man is so massive at this point that once he does get to join the team fights, you gotta wonder what it'll look like. But now he's getting caught out a little bit. Gotta be careful about that one. Steadfast Presence locks him down. Damn it, I caster cursed the Gator. Talking about once we finally get to see him in a fight and he gets turned into
Should've stayed in his lane. That's what happens.
Yep. You leave your lane, you get the pain. Sorry, Impact.
I think he forgot that there are other players in the game. He's been isolated top lane for so long. He's like, oh, this is just like first bots, right? I'm just farming. And he's like, wait a minute.
Oh no, there's other players here. EG now, with those turret plates now gone, they have the opportunity to just wail on this bottom lane turret. That thing's not long for the world. They're gonna let it eliminate as many creeps as possible on the way out, just making sure that they give their opponents the least amount of resources possible. One more turret shot will finish that one off, and Evil Geniuses gets their second turret of the game.
And you can send bot lane mid now, because mid lane is also really low from the Herald being dropped there earlier, pre-plates going down. I will say EG got a little bit sloppy in these last couple minutes, weren't playing with respect to the TF, then this invade with no vision on the Raptor pit dying. So they have allowed Cloud9 to scrape their way a bit back into the game. With the tower going down though, the gold is right back to where it was. So we'll see where they can go from here. Malphite, gonna be tough to kill, but also really hard to do much in the way of threatening this Yasuo. Once he has shield bow, he's just gonna heal off the minions.
Yeah, I think this is the situation for EG. A little sloppy, but now that they're in their 1-3-1 lane assignments, you put your bot lane mid like you were saying, the actual Malphite can't contest the push, like you said. Yeah, you can't kill him, but he can't actually keep his minions off the wave against the Yasuo. So from here on out, EG has a lot of control. The biggest question is, can Fudge disrupt this lane setup? Because you do have a little bit of extra map mobility with his ultimate.
And I do want to point out, Fudge is full build with Twisted Fate. He has Everfrost, he has Rapid Fire Cannon. These are the tools you need
Stopwatch
to
is your
be
third
that playmaker. Exactly. You can have the stopwatch to hold you over until Zhonya's. So I say the ball is in Fudge's court. For if there is an opening, he will be the one who has to execute. He's the one who has to see it.
He absolutely does, but it gets really, really tough. You know, when Renekton is going to be closing in on a second item, when you're losing vision, like you see the observers are showing us how dark this minimap is actually getting for them. They are being choked out, so it's really tough to know where to go, where your enemy is actually being shadowed. They're trying to get as much deep vision as they can, but it doesn't really give them much in the way of info, and if you go for one of those TF ultimate plays, you don't know that someone's behind him. As soon as that's revealed, you just have to back off, and it's a wasted ult.
Right, and Evil Geniuses is playing around the idea of getting outnumbered. You can't get outnumbered when all 5 of your players are in the same spot, and they are just grouping up and deathballing this tier 2 bottom.
Yeah, I mean, they had no way of knowing exactly how many people were going to show up there. So when it's 4 with a Rift Herald, you just have to sack that turret. And EG continues to get more gold in their back pocket.
Absolutely. Plus, they already have, like, look at all their vision on the bot side. And I always love this forward-thinking play. You know, you look at this quadrant, 4 pinks in this area. That helps you get the tier 2 here. So tier 2's gone. Now where are you going to go next? Well, guess what's spawning in a couple seconds? The dragon. You've already prepared, you know, for that dragon by the same prep with the tier 2, and that's why I think them playing towards this side of the map is really, really smart. It shows that forward thinking. They can defend this area on the map, and it's really going to get them a lot of value.
Yeah, I think also EG's win con wasn't exactly stacking dragons, and so there'll be a little bit of a lull if Cloud9 wants to continue stacking these. Like you said, that vision control's nuts.
Yeah.
This one's gone. Third one you can let go, and so you're not really looking at the actual soul until, you know, about 30-ish minutes into the game, which is relatively slow for a team snowballing this hard. So exactly how EG pressures Baron will be the bigger question mark post 20 minutes.
And if they can just continue controlling both sides of the jungle, because that's enough of an objective. If you control 3 to 4 quadrants of the jungle, the enemy team is just losing. They just haven't realized it yet. And that's kind of what they've been doing. Is just farming away enemy camps. You know, yes, there's still some camps available on their side, so guess where Inspired is? Inspired goes back, he's going to cycle his camps on the bottom side, he's just going to move bot, you know, maybe even clear up these camps topside if he wants, but his soul laners and his AD have been picking up camps from the enemy jungle. You know, you see Impact, 195 CS, 18 minutes, a lot of that is farm that should have been Cloud9's.
And just look how fast they are flipping their vision to the top side. Vulcan already got his pink wards in, already deep vision, already grabbing this mid turret, and they're going to make a rotation up to the top lane just after they finish this one probably. Maybe they'll go for resets instead, but they have done such a good job of moving between these objectives, like you said, from bot to dragon to mid to setting up for top.
And that's what I want to see. I don't just want to see a team be able to build this nice early game and then stall out for the next 10 minutes, not knowing where to transition this to. EG does not know how to take their foot off the pedal. They're continuing to find these opportunities. They have a plan that goes from start to finish. And if Cloud9 tries to contest them, it's just like, well, wait, they're already way too far ahead.
And EG has a lot of players with that killer instinct, and I think that's something that makes them so fun to watch, because Danny definitely had that in the team fights last year. He for sure had it this year. You brought in Inspire, Jojo, Vulcan, these guys that are all super aggressive, and Impact is just going to play whatever his role is in a given game. If you need to play towards him and he can carry, great. In this game, his role was just farm the wave, push it out, punish Darshan for roaming, and he succeeded with that. He's going to be really strong come team fights. So he's up a level, he's on his 2 core as Renekton, so he's going to be very difficult for Cloud9 to deal with.
Cloud9, man, stuck in their own territory, continually getting pushed back. You can see them placing down vision on their own half of the map. There is no vision for either team on Evil Genius's half of the map because that half of the map is not having League of Legends played on it right now. EG is never having to defend. Cloud9 never gets the opportunity to go aggressive. It's all about Cloud9 just trying to dig in and have something to stand on as EG keeps pushing.
Yeah, I mean, look at the outer turrets right now. You see these objective bounties up, but they haven't really gotten any chip damage on any of them except top lane. It's about 2/3 HP. The rest are about 95%. So, you know, C9 are trying to make a move up here around the TF to get some of this bounty gold. It's basically the only thing that's offered up to them right now because once EG put all their attention onto another objective, you can't actually contest it. But it's still difficult. The TF still feels scared just to walk up to the Renekton.
Yep. And I even like just that Jinx ult. I think it was just checking if they were doing a Baron on spawn. You know, doing some sort of coin flip play. And say, hey, can't see everyone on the map right now. Blaber, though, gonna get caught out.
Oh, Blaber, he tries to use Steadfast Presence to get himself away, but Danny has blocked off the path and forces the flash there with the Chompers. So Evil Geniuses get one of those playmaking summoner spells out of one of the Cloud9 frontliners, and it wins them more control over the enemy jungle. They're just gonna start up the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason they have to be scared. Flash off the Poppy. She does have Hex Flash, so there's a possibility they can get into the pit, but they're so far behind.
They want Darshan's TP at the very least.
Absolutely. Here we go. Twisted Fate ulti has already come out. Impact's over the wall, and they're ready to go. Baron Nashor already over to Evil Geniuses. The fight goes nowhere. That was free for EG.
It felt like C9 thought they were bluffing. They're not actually going to finish this, but by the time Darshan TP'd, it's too little too late. They popped the TF ulti. Darshan comes in with the TP. Well, EG just finished that, no problem. Impact flashes over to stop any sort of chance of a steal. Just really clean stuff here from EG, and they're just looking like they're on a different level than C9 this game.
That was like the most stress-free Baron I've seen in a 5v5 in a while. Like, no one was dead. It wasn't like they totally sacked the Baron. They were around contesting it, but with the Poppy having no flash, as soon as she got close to the wall and the HP got low, Impact flashed over to zone the Poppy off. It just looks so clean.
And right before the Baron, we talked about the Danny ulti being used to check and see if the enemy team was doing Baron instead. I have seen so many of these scouting ultis from Danny this game. It feels practically like he's using it like Ezreal ults often are, where they're just shot off on cooldown, seeing what you can find with them. The missiles are being used as recon drones, and it's working out for the side of Evil Genius.
I mean, I think it's smart when there's very few places on the map that your enemy can hide. You know, those kind of scouting ults can be pretty effective. You know, in that case, Jojo was in the side brush top lane, so he was maybe trying to check exactly where TF was, if TF was taking some sort of weird recall. If you interrupt a recall like that, that can give you tempo on the map. Potentially Yasuo can go in and get a kill as well. EG now just in a 4-1. Trying to kind of hover in between these two lanes. Looks like Red's about to come up, so they can gift that over to Danny and just keep pushing up here. They want to try to threaten these inhibs because they have just progressed the game so fast that there's not really much else for them to do.
And you can see Jojo here. He's waiting as long as he can. He's trying to get these waves synced up as close as possible. Granted, they cannot be synced up completely here just yet. But that mid wave is going to crash before the top one's fully cleared out, and that's the name of the game. Impact now gets an opportunity to hit that turret a couple of times. He'll stun up Isles, dash away, only takes one turret shot. Not really worried about it. The pressure continues, and it's going to stay on for another minute as this Baron buff continues to put the pressure on C9. Vulcan getting caught, slammed into the wall, but that's not the guy you want to catch. Right over the wall they go! Inspired, and Jojo just keep doing it. They will finally lose the Yasuo. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Vulcan trying to get away. He's gonna die now too. Double kill back over to Zven. Cloud9 holding on and fighting back.
Yeah, still a bit of a chase down here. Actually, EG, you're turning.
Oh, but a nice kill back onto Fudge, and EG return the favor. They ain't done yet. Danny's getting excited, and Evil Geniuses are ready to keep the fight going. Nice stun coming out from Renekton. Nice rocket follow-up from Danny. A nice base push coming out from EG.
It's at least 2 inhibs. They're just going to go for both of these. They are going to back it up as EG just slamming through Cloud9 here, going super aggressive, diving into the base. Even after that initial trade, they still had so much gold and power in their remaining 3 that you get the first kill, and Danny's just off to the races.
Yeah, I think total overconfidence here by Cloud9 because of how awkward of a position EG took this fight in. The turrets are still up. They haven't finished any. So when they decide to go over the wall here, taking that Diana ultimate, now after that first kill, you have no way out of this situation. So when they don't finish off Darshan here, now you're hitting turrets. Now Vulcan and Inspired have to walk back to the turret. They can't really turn. That gets to the second kill. But you're not actually stronger here. It is a 3v4. But, you know, with all that extra gold in your favor, C9 just end up chasing a little bit too far.
Exactly. They have so much gold, and all those members on EG were still quite healthy. Darshan didn't have an ult. He was really low. So, well played there by EG. They grab another dragon. They're at soul point, 9K ahead.
And Fudge is trying to farm up his own jungle.
Forced
to flash away. The solar flare means flash don't matter. Fudge is out of here, and Evil Geniuses claim his life. Jojo's gonna get caught here in the mid lane, flashing away there to survive. Doesn't even lose the Guardian Angel. Cloud9 backing up as EG looks for any sort of a chance to maybe find something else here. Although they broke both of the tier 3 turrets in the base, the inhibitors are all still standing. EG now with 5v4 on the map, Fudge dead for an additional 25 seconds. EG feels comfortable and confident moving in to get rid of the inhibs themselves. This is going to make the situation so bad for Cloud9. They are firmly trapped in the base at this point. Blaber tries to survive here with a steadfast presence. Inspired's going in, and Jojo's right behind him. Darshan tries to stay alive, but he is not tanky enough. The curtain call doesn't matter. The show was over 20 minutes ago. EG is ready to rock in this best of 5, and they're sending Cloud9 running back into the fountain. The Nexus is not long for this world, and EG made game 1 look easy.
What a game from Evil Geniuses, absolutely stomping Cloud9, coming out with the Yasuo Diana, the best performance we've seen from that combo in the LCS this year easily. They got the early kill. Fudge looked like he was getting kind of run over in that mid lane, and it really did feel like Cloud9 was plagued by some miscommunications, some indecision around how they wanted to play in some of these certain states. You know, you just look back to that first kill, and I would love to see the analyst desk talk about this a little bit, because it just felt like there was so much hesitation in what Blaber is trying to do. Are you trying to gank? Are you trying to push out the wave? Are you trying to get vision? Are you trying to actually take the Raptor pit? And it didn't seem like they could decide at all, and EG had no hesitation at any point in this game. They knew exactly what they wanted to do.
I felt like this was a gut punch. Like, started out, they got the wind knocked out of them because C9 were behind the entire game. The vision control was insane from EG, and you're looking at that like, what should we do different from next game? And it's like, literally everything.
Yeah, if you're talking about a gut punch, Cloud9 has internal bleeding after that one. Like, that was nasty. Inspired hit so many 3-man ulti setups for Jojo to follow. The whole team was playing beautifully, and I love the fact that Vulcan threw up the Cloud9 emote BM. Y'all could have had me on your team. Sorry. That's the attitude I like to see. EG dominate that first win. And as they get ready for their next game in our series, we're going to head over to the State Farm Analyst Desk.